Good evening. And then you got caught out there. Let me get my headphones on. Welcome to Paxton TV. Just doing a little bit of stuff there. Hopefully the camera gets sorted out quickly and breathe. Welcome to Paxton TV. I'm SUBSRCRIBE for Life. This is Talking Points, episode number 113. A Cuti above or liability. We're talking about Christian Romero tonight. It's Talking Points. I'm going to be joined in the house by some others, but let's have the great intro.
It's just different.
Hello, I'm SUBSRCRIBE for Life, and this is Talking Points, episode number 113 on the one and only Paxton TV, PRTvSpurs. We're back. We're in winning ways again. A little bit hot. I might even take my hat off, but I kind of like the style. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about. We're in the house to discuss this. This is what we talked about, or going to talk about. Let's have a look. Here we go. A Cuti above or liability. Christian Romero, people. We have to discuss in the house. We have. Let's see if I can get these guys up in a second. There's one of them. There's the other one. I'm going to change this round for my OCD. There we go. Here we go. In the house, we have Sean Hull, SUBSRCRIBE. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Getting myself all sorted out. That's what I'm trying to do with the hat and everything. How are we doing, guys? We all right?
Yeah, much better after the weekend.
Yep, much better after the weekend. It was an eventful weekend in terms of results. We got ours. Certain other teams didn't get their results. Certain other teams didn't get their results midweek. And we are rolling on to the Premiership game on Friday against Nottingham Forest. But before that, we need to talk about some things. We didn't get to really expand on it too much in the last review show, but I think it was an opportunity to kind of discuss that. And obviously the other players in the squad as well, but primarily Christian Romero. Did you like the title, by the way? Did you like the title? Did you see that title? Let me show it again.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I like it. You're learning, aren't you? You're learning.
You lot are just too happy, aren't you? You're too happy. I'm trying to get you up, and you're too happy. Anyway, that's all.
Never too high, never too low, never too high, never too low.
That's true. That's true. I was pretty much that on the review show. I remember just being just deadpan, just calm, not trying to go too much. But anyway, we need to talk about what we need to talk about. Our friend Christian Romero. I guess it stems from the tackle that happened, and it's been a bit of debate about it. Was it a red card? I've seen a lot of people say, "Oh, it wasn't a red card. It wasn't a red card." I watched it back a few times, and obviously, when it comes to VAR, slowing down certain things makes it look worse. It looks a red card in real time to me, and the consequences of that for us could have been quite detrimental. We would have missed him for 4 games, and 4 games coming up. On paper, we should win, but again, we need as close to our strongest team as possible to win any game in the Premier League. We've seen that. So yeah, what do you guys think? Christian Romero, is he our best defender, arguably? But is he costing us? Could he cost us? Has he cost us already? And what do you actually think about the tackle itself based on the whole furore that's been happening? Like I said, I think it's a red card, but I don't know if people need to go over the top. But then again, I saw Ref Watch on Sky Sports, and I think it was at Dermot Gallagher. What's his name? What he looks
Dermot
like?
Gallagher.
He looks like he needs a meal. That's what he looks like. He needs to eat 2 meals at least, not just the 1 meal a day. He needs to put on a bit of weight. Anyway, that's not what I'm here to talk about. But he just seemed to think it wasn't even didn't think it was a red card. Sean, I come to you because you raised that on the review show. What's your thoughts about Christian Romero, obviously as a defender, as a player for us, the importance, but his temperament and that tackle?
Yeah, I mean, I think I made my views quite clear on the day about the nature of the tackle and what it deserved. I think sort of with a couple of more days reflection, yeah, it's still a red card, you know, and he was a very lucky boy. I mean, he got a yellow card, so it has put him in kind of a dodgy situation in terms of, you know, he's got to get to 19 games now without incurring another yellow card. And the games are coming thick and fast, and they're not all easy. You know, no games in the Premier League are easy. I mean, Andrew's alluded to that you know, if you're down one or two players, you can really suffer. And you know, I think he had quite a deal of sympathy for Eddie Howe, really, when he seen the how depleted his team was. But yeah, no, it's nasty. But I'm gonna sort of row back on myself, if you like, and how often have we always said that Tottenham are a little bit too soft, that we don't stand up for ourselves and things like that? I mean, I love the player. I mean, but he, you know, and at the beginning of the season when he was in tandem with Van der Ven, I don't think he made a foul for 5 games. But you know, it's certainly it's noticeable that he seems to have, you know, he seems to revel a little bit in his notoriety, and it needs reining in.
I think it does need rain. It was the comments I heard from or read about what Martinez, the goalkeeper for Aston Villa, said what they allegedly what they do when he starts making them sort of tackles for Argentina. Somebody gets hold of him, maybe Martinez himself, and says, "Oh, he's gonna do you into some degree, shape, or form." Whether that's a bit tongue in cheek, whether that's not, I don't know. But it seems like that's the sort of behaviours that needs to rein this sort of person in. Now, as I said, it's a difficult one. People say you can't take the aggression out of him because it will change him as a player and all the rest of it. I don't agree with that. You because as you just mentioned about it, when he was playing with Van der Ven, he hardly made any fouls, let alone yellow cards, let alone red cards. But I've kind of thought about it a lot. And as I said, I come to the conclusion that, yes, when he's playing with, I would say, equal standard type defenders, and Van der Ven's proved to be of an equal standard, somewhat different defender, but certainly an equal standard in terms of a defensive responsibility and capabilities, it kind of takes the pressure off Herrera a bit. We all saw last season and seasons gone by, him and Eric Dyer in a 2 particularly, I just don't think it was ever going to work. There was some, yeah, Sanchez had a kind of, but Sanchez playing on the left-hand side had his faults as well. We've had Van der Ven come in now, and it looks like they've got a partnership which matches in all ways, shapes, and form for successful defending partnerships in the Premier League, central defensive partnerships. You've got someone who's aggressive and someone's a bit calmer. Both have got pace, both have got very good ability on the ball. And that's what I think he's now missing. Maybe he's overcompensating for the fact that Van der Ven's not there and he's got Ben Davies, and he knows Ben Davies well, but I think he also knows his limitations. So again, is his aggression to do with that? I don't know. I'm thinking, I can't think of anything else, because he's suddenly, you know, since that Chelsea game, it's gone a little bit intense, shall we say. Sid, ask you, because you was at the game. Again, when you're watching it, it looks a whole lot different when you're in the stands than it does when they slow it down 101 times on TV and show you all the different angles. Did it look like a red card, or did it appear to seem like a red card when it happened on the day in the stadium?
I don't think there was any rumbles in the crowd when he made the tackle in terms of, oh, he's off, he's off, he's off. It was only my boy's mates started texting him saying it's a red, it's a red, it's a red. I looked at it, and then I obviously took my phone out to see what was going on. And he said, you know, it's one of them. Had he been sent off for that, then I'm sorry, but they're going to have to stop pulling up every single tackle, because in the last couple of weeks, I've seen some mad tackles. I think even on Saturday or Sunday, can't remember which game it was. It was one of the live games. There was something just as bad as that, and the guy didn't even get a yellow card. And the VAR looked at it and said, "Nah, nothing. It's just tickled him." But it was just as bad as Romero. So it's one of them, isn't it? I mean, if he would have been sending off, then we probably could have said, you know what, because it's Spurs. because it's Romero, because of his attitude and because of his reputation, he's got a red. I at the time, I didn't think it was a red. I still stand by it. I don't think it was a red. It is one of them tackles. Yes, he was a little bit, late, but I don't think he meant, well, I don't know. I don't think he actually meant it to do what he done, but it is what it is. But I hear what you guys are saying. He needs to sort of calm down, because that tackle was in a period where we was absolutely no worries from Newcastle. We was in the ascendancy. We was doing everything right, and that just come out of nowhere, out of the blue. And you're like, what are you doing? We're not even losing this game. We're in control of this game. Why are you doing what you're doing? And Martinez summed it up, isn't it? He's that kind of a guy. He's got that attitude on him where it's do or die kind of attitude, which is good. And like Sean said, we've been crying out for players like that. We've got too many soft players. So now we've got one who does it, and now they're all saying, "Oh, he needs to calm down." No. He's just got to balance it, when to do it, when not to do it. Yes, go in hard.
How do you do that? And who's going to do that with him? Like I said, that comment from Martinez suggested that it takes a very physical approach to kind of let him know that not to do that. And has kind of alluded to, and I'm not sure, I haven't seen all the comments, but I'm just going by a bit of what I've kind of read and seen, is that, yeah, he understands that, that's the player, and that's to a degree his nature. But as I said, I know managers, they don't want to lose their best players for any length of time, particularly to things which can be controlled. And this can be controlled. If something's outside of your control, I can understand that. VAR decision, referee decisions, they're outside of your control. You can control what you do on a football pitch in terms of your tackles and your attempted tackles. Now, what it is with him, you may be right, Sid. You may be right in what you say. He doesn't mean to. I don't think he goes into a tackle like a Roy Keane on Alfie Hing. Do you know what I mean? Harden back in the day. That's not what it's about. But it's late. He's aggressive. And these days, you don't get away with them too much because we have VAR. In my opinion, I think VAR made a big boo-boo on that one. Or not so much VAR, but the referee. Or whoever it was, it made a decision eventually to say that wasn't right. Because I believe it was. Looking back at it, I can't give him any sort of benefit of the doubt, because I think he got him twice. He got him first time, and he almost got him again. That suggested to me that tackle was a tackle that he was going for. Didn't mean to hurt the player, but he certainly didn't want the player to get past him. Whatever it was, he didn't need to make it. That's the point. So, do you think VAR in this instance, or how did that decision come about that it was not even a penalty? Was it VAR or was it? I can't remember now. I just looked at it, it was like, oh my God, he's going off. And I started walking around. So I don't remember how they got to the conclusion that it wasn't. I just came back and watched the game. Who knows what happened? Sean, do you know?
Well,
sorry, go on. So, something, guys, I'll let you go. I'm just stand back.
No, I was going to tell you from the stadium perspective, right, Sean? Because you can obviously you can say it from the TV. From the stadium, he made the tackle. Everybody was rumbling. Not a lot of rumbles. And referee made the decision. And there was nothing come up on the thing to say VAR is gone to VAR or anything like that. Quick word in the ear by the looks of it, and it carried on. I don't know if it was different on TV because I was on the opposite end to that. So I don't know if it went to VAR and whether he got a thing in his ear to say carry on. But there was no on the scoreboard or anything. Nothing came up to say potential red, whatever. So that's what I see. And I still stick by the decision that they made is the right one. I don't know how you saw it on TV, Sean.
Well, I think what saves Romero in this is that the referee makes a very quick decision to book him, and he gets the yellow card out quite quickly. And it's my understanding that VAR can't upgrade a yellow card to a red card. Once the yellow card's been made, that's the decision on the field of play. So I think he was very lucky that he just got that. He just took the yellow card, because I think if the referee had been able to go to the screen, he would have sent him off. And that's my understanding, that VAR can't upgrade a yellow card to to a red card. It can downgrade a red card to a yellow card, or it can, it can downgrade a red card to nothing, but it can't up the punishment. So because if you think about it, the red card he got against Chelsea,
That makes no sense.
He got nothing. Huh? Sorry?
No, I was just saying in terms of that yellow card, and because oh, is it me? I look like I'm lagging, don't I? Oh,
You're lagging.
Sorry, go on. I'm lagging behind.
No, it doesn't. I think if you're alluding that it doesn't make sense, and that it is true, because we would like to see serious foul play to be, stamped out of the game. Forgive the pun, but it's. I think he is. In this case, the referee's made a quick decision to issue the yellow card, and that saved him from the red card. But to me, he takes both ankles, and Wilson is a little gobby shite. Let's not have it any other way. And he's fully prepared to hand it out over the internet, but on the field of play, and you wonder. The South American guys talking amongst themselves. Richarlison says, "Look what this guy has said about me. Make sure that you don't let him away with anything." But I mean, we were 3-0 up at the time. It wasn't 4; it was 3-0. No need for it. If they score, then we're not going to lose the game. I think there was less than 10 minutes to go, or whatever, or just over 10 minutes to go. So it was just reckless. And
Right, I'm going to quickly go and sort myself out. Get this lag.
Yeah, Sean.
Yes.
I'm just reading here, right? With the help of the video assistant referee, it is now possible to upgrade a yellow card to a red card after an on-field review of the infraction. In that case, the referee will show the yellow card, make a no good gesture, and show the red card to the offending player. So, I don't know.
I mean, that's how it was explained to us on the TV.
Yeah,
it couldn't be upgraded. So I don't understand then. It doesn't make sense, as Sam has alluded to. So
yeah, because I just googled it and that's why it come up. So, like you said, mate, we'll have to send that to VAR as well now, won't we, to see what they think of that.
Well, I mean, there's all sorts of things. Suddenly now the referee in the Man City game is where is me? I should have given that. I should have played that advantage.
Yeah.
For Grealish, and it's like what has happened is that referees have become frightened of their own shadows.
Yes.
And we've now got to a position where they're hoping that VAR's going to bail them out. And I know one of our WhatsApp groups shared the dialogue around the Chelsea red card, and it seemed they were dead keen to give him a red card. I think that was more accidental when I look at it now.
Yeah, but I think that one, the Chelsea one, was it was the occasion, wasn't it? It was the occasion. Everybody got wrapped up in the occasion. Chelsea, Tottenham, the Battle of the Bridge, blah 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 blah. Because there was a lot, like you said, the Reece James foul. There was Conor Gallagher. There was a lot of things going on in that game. But obviously, Romero does that, whether it was unintentional, intentional, or whatever. It was just the occasion for me, but it's a strange one. It's a very strange one.
Yeah, I mean, if you compare the two, the Wilson one is much more deliberate because, as Sam said, he went for both. He went for and he got both ankles. There's no, and whereas the Enzo one, I think it could be argued that it was just his natural follow through, and it just so happened to land on the guy's ankle. So
question for both of you then. Sam, I know you're back on again, but I want to ask you this question.
Better? Is it live now?
Yeah,
as in
better. Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
That's good.
Got a question for both of you, right? That tackle then, I don't think it was, but you're both saying it was a red. Do you think it's got something to do with the shit that has been going on with Wilson on Richarlison, and Romero's thought, you know what, you little shit, don't take the piss out of my Richie. I'm gonna give it to you.
Yeah, I think he's a very much a team player in that sense. He protects his mates and he's got your back. Like I said, he's the sort of person you want to go into a bar with and you'll say, wait there, hold on, I'm going to go and get my mate, because you know he's going to be there backing you up. And I do think that that's got something to do with that as well, regardless of the Brazilian-Argentinian thing, because apparently him and Bentancur are very good mates in terms of best mates, potentially. So he's definitely got people's back. That, though, you can do things in a game where you can do things and get away with them. It's more and more difficult to get away with stuff in these days anyway because of VAR. But that wasn't something that I think you could get away with, because, as I said, it looked like to me, when you slow it down, it does look worse. But he caught him where he caught him. I've seen players get sent off for less than that, I must admit. And then he kind of almost had like a bit of a follow through with the other foot. And although he was holding his hands up and all that, it just didn't look sincere to me. It looked like to me, it's like, yeah, I got you, but I'm going to make out I didn't do nothing. But who am I to know? But again, I remember the other one when he got sent off at Chelsea, it didn't look like a red card there from where I was sat because of the speed of the game. So I know the referees have very, very difficult decisions. But this thing about if you give him a yellow card, you can't upgrade it as a red. What if he'd have broke his ankle?
Sam, did you listen to did you hear or did you freeze when I read the statement that I found on when I Googled it?
No, I didn't hear the statement. Sorry.
So it says it is now possible to upgrade a yellow card to a red card after an on-field review of the infraction. In that case, the referee will show the yellow card, make a no good gesture, and show the red card to the offending player. So, and I've just Googled that, so I don't know. I mean,
okay.
And Sean was the same as well. We don't know what.
We don't know. Well, we don't know. But in terms of, okay then, Sean, I'll ask you, how do you think Ange is handling this situation? Obviously, he's going to have a public persona as such, but his personal and public personas are not too dissimilar, I don't think, because he comes across as very genuine in his public persona. How do you think he's dealing with this situation with regards to Romero? Do you think he's not concerned? Do you think he's got private messages for him? Do you think it's something that, that we have to just accept that this is the player that we've got, and if he has got his best mate in terms of a best mate playing alongside him, I mean that by Van der Ven, it might dissipate slightly. I don't know. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, publicly, Ange has kind of dismissed it, hasn't he? He sort of said, that's the nature of the player, and I'm not going to ask him to change. However, I wonder whether in this case, given the proximity to the 19 games, he's gonna have a quiet word with him on the sly and say, look, Christian, I need you to get through these games without getting us into any other trouble, But to me, I think we're just gonna have to like it or lump it. I think it's just in his nature. The problem is that he's missing an awful lot of a season. I think someone was saying he's almost missed a quarter of the season through injury and suspension, and it's like I suppose there may come to a point, but I'm hoping that the return of his mate in the new year will bring him back on into the fold, and we'll just enjoy the fact that he's such a potent attacking force as well as a great defender. I'm going to keep him. He's our thug, unfortunately, but he's we just have to accept that.
And I wouldn't take him out of my Premiership team, a fantasy football team, if I had one this year. I didn't play it this year, but I wouldn't, because he's scoring goals. He's high scoring central defender in the Premier League. Is that correct? Has he got 3 goals this season? Is it 3?
Who? Romero?
Yeah. I think it's 3.
Yeah, he scored at Brentford, he scored at Burnley, and he scored against West Ham.
Yeah, there you go.
See, I know Oracle Sean would come and save me, because I was thinking, Sid's doubting me here. Sid's doubting me. I don't like that. And then the Oracle saved me. So yeah, thank you for that. He scored the highest scoring central defender in the Prem, which is not saying a lot, but 3 goals scored after 15 games, 16 games. I don't think that's a bad return, considering also that he gives you that solidity in defense. We know that we have to have him in our defense to be a better unit. But if he's not there because he gets suspended for 4 games, that's even more detrimental. You know, that's going to be him. Let me just have a look at see what games that we've got coming up. The next 4 games, because this is interesting to me in terms of where look at
We've
this
got
side.
Forest. I think we've got Everton. Got Bournemouth and Brighton, I think.
Oh dear, we guys didn't even need to look. That's what I'm saying. I was just slow on the uptake there. Definitely next game is against Forest. Then it is here we go. Then it is what's so bloody rubbish
It's
this day?
Brighton on Boxing Day or 27th or 28th.
Yes.
And we've got Bournemouth at home, I think.
It's really bad.
We've got Burnley in the cup.
My computer's so slow. Sorry about this, people.
I'll tell you. You carry
These
on.
two have got much more information. You know what I mean? Here we go. There we go. Nottingham Forest is the next game on Friday. As you've already said, Sid. Then we play Everton on Saturday the 23rd. 28th is Brighton at home. Sorry, Brighton away. 31st is Bournemouth at home. And if we go into January, early part of January, it's that the first FA Cup game against Burnley, 5th of January. So he would have missed potentially Forest, Everton, Brighton, and Bournemouth. 2 home games, 2 away. Now, I look at the Forest game this weekend or this Friday. It's not going to be an easy game, but I expect us to win. I expect us to win that game. Everton's going to be a tough game, even though it's at our place, because Everton, Sean Dice, they're flying at the moment. If someone will show me some of the stats, if it was only 14 games or 10 games, they'd be on some ridiculous amount of points. But Brighton again, 28, 4 days later, not nice. And then you got 3 days after that, Bournemouth, and they've proven what they can do in terms of playing away from home against Manchester United. You don't want to be missing your best players from that. We've already got a significant injury list. Andrew's got to have a word, hasn't he? Sid, what would you say to him?
Listen, I think when you talk to players that he plays with, and talking country and club, Rodrigo de Paul said he's the best centre back he thinks at the moment, right, in the world. He doesn't have anything bad to say about him. And I think Messi said that as well. So the Argentinian players rate him very, very highly. Spurs players rate him very, very highly. Postecoglou rates him very highly because he's one of the 3 captains, right, alongside Son and Maddison. Now, you've got a defender who's quality. He does nothing wrong. He's like a Rolls Royce, yeah? Okay, we're all nitty-pitty now on his tackling and how it could cost us games, this, that, the other. I think the other side to it as well is, I think if you don't have a centre-back pairing or his partner in crime, yeah, you know what I mean? He's Tango and Cash or he's Morecambe and Wise or whatever you want to call him. If one of them's missing, then the fluidity's gone. So he's now thinking, do you know what? My man's gone. My sidekick's gone. I've got to do a lot of the work. That tackle on Sunday, 3-0 up. If Van der Ven was playing, he's not doing that. But because he's got Davies or he's got Royal or he's got Dyer, he seems to think that I've got to do everything here because I don't trust them lot. So I think that's the flip side to his. I honestly believe Son, Bentancur, they'll be having words with him, and the coaching staff and Postecoglou will have had words with him. Newcastle have just taken the lead. They'll have words with him and they'll say to him, listen, we know how good you are. This is what's going on at the moment in terms of injuries and that. We need you, mate. We need you now more than ever. And I need you all tonight. Anyway, but just calm down a little bit. And I think, again, how close he got to sending off on Newcastle, I think he might sit back now and probably, because I'm sure they've discussed it. And if they're all buddies and whatever, Bentancur and all them, like, and they've sat down and in conversation, I'm sure they've said it. And he's probably thinking deep down, do you know what? Yeah, I think I agree with you guys. I think I might need to slow it down a little bit because we're still in the mix. We're still there and thereabouts. So I don't think he wants to get suspended for four games as well, because reputation and that. He doesn't want to get that label where we can't trust you anymore. So I think this might be his last kind of alarm bell, and then they're going to change the batteries to a brand new set of batteries that are going to go forever and ever.
I think we're going to have to lump it. I think we're going to have to accept the players. The reason I say that is all the stuff that comes out of training. Which play was it? Brennan Johnson. Somebody came out recently from Spurs, and they mentioned about Cuti Romero in training, and they were like, "My God, he trains." Because what I was taught in terms of how you want to play the game of football, train like how you want to play. You don't train willy-nilly on the week and then expect to go out and play your best football at the weekend. Those are the real talented sort of people who can do that. Most of the time, you train like how you want to go and play. So he trains like how he plays, because everybody in training says you don't want to come on it. You want to be on the same team as him 5-a-side, not against him, because you know what you're going to get. But his teammates, you're right, what you're saying, Sid, his teammates are going to have to get around him, particularly people like Son and even Maddison, although he's not playing at the moment. We'll see. Listen, you're part of this leadership here. If you're not playing for 4 games, this is what's going to happen. Now, when you're playing a game and playing any sort of sport or anything at that sort of high level, it's very hard to think clearly under pressure. Teacup, the old, that old phrase that you've got there, to be able to do that. So again, he's probably has this game, this way of playing, this way of thinking that doesn't maybe allow him to think that logically in that instant. And that's an instantaneous reaction decision to make that tackle there and then. And I've seen that plenty of times from him. So that's what leads me to the fact that I don't think we're going to see anything different, because if he does change it, he's not going to go for them challenges, which means he's going to be a slightly different player, because he's not going to go. He's going to have to play maybe a little bit differently, which could be a good thing, but could be a bad thing. But it's something that's going to have to be then learned, and it's going to take time for him to develop. It's like, when you say you always use your right hand to open the door, something like that, when you've got something that's on your left side, it takes you a while before you get used to not being on the right hand side. That's what's going to have to happen for him as a player. I don't think we could. I just think we've got to let it happen and just hope that, he realizes in situations, right, we're winning 3-0. I will let that player go past me, or I will make that. I'll just track him. But in an instant where it's going to be a snap decision, I think you'll make the same decision, mate. Sean, anything further to add on that before we talk about something else?
Before we get too hard on Cuti, I want to share something with you. Hold on 1 second. Let's see if I can get you to. Let's see if I can get this.
What's the score, Sid? It's still 1-0.
1-0, yeah. 1-0. Good goal.
Can you see this challenge? Can you see this challenge?
Ooh, whoa. Ooh. But like I said, this is what happens. Yeah, we can see that mirrors that. But again, when you snapshot it like that, that looks like that's going to break every bone in that lower half. Sid, you look at that. That looks like a bad challenge, doesn't it?
It was a very bad challenge.
I said that when that happened. I said that. The problem is, in real time, it's all good. When they start slowing it down and showing replays in slow motion and extra slow motion, yes. But that was one of the tackles I was referring to. That if Romero's was on a red on Sunday, then this wasn't even a yellow card. Apparently, he didn't get nothing for it. So there's been a lot of challenges.
Three Newcastle players were booked protesting about that challenge.
That's right, because they didn't redeem it to be anything but, and he didn't even get a yellow card, if I'm right.
I look at that still, I think all day long that's a red card. But I don't know, without what it's like in full speed, did he actually catch the player on the left? I don't know, but it looks like he's going to break that lower part of his leg there.
He caught him. I mean, the trouble is, Romero is being. I'm going to take this off screen. He's been held to a higher standard,
Yeah.
So it's.
Okay.
We've
also got. We've got a slight delay between me and Sean, and probably sorry, mate. Every time I think you're finished, you haven't quite finished. It's this delay on this stream. Udoji, he's another one now. He's close to the mark. Again, he's made some challenges. He's done some things. That's kind of, I'm taking his age into consideration with regards to that. He's what, 20 years of age? But he's got what, 4 yellow cards now, is it?
He's one away apparently from suspension, isn't he, again?
So that means so he's 4 yellow cards. Sparrow's got close to the mark. He might be on definitely less than 4 anyway. Someone look that up if they can at the time. I can look up at it. But what my point is this, because he's playing this midfield hybrid kind of, you're getting involved in the game a lot more. So again, I'm taking that into consideration for someone like Udoji. He's getting involved in the game, particularly midfield. And if you think about it, the players that tend to get a lot of yellow cards in the game are the ones that have to make the tackles more often than not. And that's usually midfielders, stroke central defenders. I guess with fullbacks, you can say that to a degree, but fullbacks usually get a bit more isolated and don't usually get as much of the ball at times. And the modern fullbacks certainly more attacking than they are defensively. But because of this position that they're now playing in midfield, and we've seen it already, a poor misplaced pass, that wanting to, I want to make up for it, I want to do that. I think that's probably got a lot of his yellow cards. But he's another player now we can't really afford to lose at this moment in time because Ryan Sessegnon isn't ready. Who would be our left back? Would we have to bring Raw back into that as a left back, do you think? I'll let you guys discuss.
I think so.
Well, I think we have no option. He'll play Royal there. He can't, he can't. There's no one in the under 21s who's playing a left back that could step up. I am a wee bit concerned about Destiny because he, as I say, he can pick up yellow cards because of his involvement in the game. As you say, in all parts of the ground, in all parts of the match. But yeah, I suppose it's the nature in it. We're playing a high line. It's reward and risk. And there's no way that we're gonna change the way that we're playing, but this is where the depth in our squad is being cruelly exposed, through injuries and through suspensions. Basuma's had 6 yellow cards this year. So
I think our yellow card count is high, and our so far, because we're only X amount of games into the season. I keep forgetting, is it 15 games we've played? It is 15, isn't it? No, to tell you what, bloody computer's absolutely rubbish today. Sorry about that. Anyway,
Pedro's got 3, Romero's got 4 yellows, Basuma's got 5, Papasar's got 3. Believe it or not, Vicario's got 2. Destiny's got 4.
All those players on that's quite a few yellow cards there, in my opinion. 16 games played. Was it Gary Lineker went through his whole career, never got a red card or a yellow card?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But
in the modern game, you're never gonna ever see that. I know not to expect that. But I certainly think the amount of yellow cards that we're seeing in this game of football suggests that players are going to get suspended more often than not. And this jeopardy when you get to 9 cards and you get to 10, it's what, 2-game ban. We're going to get to 10 cards very soon with some of these players. We are going to get to 10. 16 games in, we've got the Christmas periods coming up. You tend to find, as the season goes on, particularly in this weather as well, I think you pick up more yellow cards just because of the nature of the game. players potentially more fatigued. I don't know. The amount of games you play in this period means that you are going to be slightly more fatigued. We've got a small squad as it is. Injuries are playing its part. We can't just rotate. That's the problem that we've got. I don't see us being able to just rotate in somebody into a doggy's place to give him a rest for one of these games. But I think we're going to have to do that. So this is what I wanted to try and move on to. Because of where we are with the players, Cuti Romero's, the Udogis in this, Basuma, another one. He's picked up some really stupid yellow cards. And I think that's affected his game. I think that affected his game from the Chelsea, from that Chelsea performance. You know what I mean? Since then. Is it definite that we're going to have to pick up some players in January? Sid, talk to me. You're the transfer man. Talk to me.
Listen, I was going to say before you said it, some of the yellow cards we're picking up, stupidity is not the word, right? Literally, unnecessary yellow cards. However, I'll second that by saying some of the yellow cards we do pick up, it's absolute bollocks. Because I've seen worse challenges, worse, tackles and offences in the Prem. They ain't getting anything. Sean just pulled one up then, right? There's been a hell of a lot. Last week, after our game against West Ham, there was a hell of a lot. And Newcastle game, there was quite a lot. Other teams, other players. Nothing gets happened. I'll give you Chelsea when we played them. They were doing all sorts. Sterling's diving like Bambi on ice again. He's not getting yellow cards for that. But you guaranteed if that was one of our players, yellow card. So, yes, we are picking up yellows, but we are getting stupid yellow cards where other teams are not going to get it, right? But then everyone keeps crying about, we've got lucky with Liverpool. How was that? And we got lucky against Man City, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so that's that. In terms of transfers, I agree with you. I think at the moment, there's a lot of talk on Højbjerg and Lo Celso, right? And the Lo Celso one is getting hotter and hotter as well now, because I know, Sean, you're going to tell me, no, they've got no money, but from what I believe, Xavi wants him at all costs. He wanted him in the summer, and now apparently he's told him he's the number one target in January. Whether they've got the money or not, I don't know, and he's...
They ain't got the money.
Yeah, they haven't got the money.
But what they're going to do is unsettle the player.
And they can give us somebody in exchange, maybe. Who knows? But that's that, Højbjerg. But I still think there's a lot of youngsters we're being linked with, right? So I believe we will get one or two players in January. Whether they're the caliber of players we want, is probably no. But I trust my manager. If it's the players that he wants, he's done his homework on it, I'll go 100% with him. He's the one that wanted Van der Ven. He's the one, Vicario, the Madisons. So, he knows what he wants and he'll get him. So I ain't going to question that. I'd rather have somebody that we don't know, but he knows he's done all his homework, than somebody who's 80, 90 million, doesn't work out, he gets panned. So I think he knows what he needs, and he now knows more because of, like you said, Destiny's, Bisuma's, all them lot prone to yellow cards, Romero's. So I think he's now going to be more urgent, and whoever he gets in, and I think we will get maybe 2, maybe 3. I trust the manager who gets in.
So, Sean, what's your priority in terms of if we are going to go into the market? And I guess put it in priority order, because I think we need more than one player. I don't think we can just buy. As I said, for me, it's a centre back, 100% a centre back. But then I look at other places, other parts of the team, and I think about, obviously, players going away, for AFCON, Son going away. I think we need a striker. If I'm honest with you, I think we need a striker, not just because, Richarlison is a little bit up and down. Yes, I think he's going to need to have the confidence to be playing, but I still think he needs to be pushed. I still think he needs to know that, if Son's gone, I kind of get the feeling it's like, well, I'm going to be playing now. But I think he needs to be really motivated, and that's because of the emotion that he's got. Okay, so I'll answer that again, Sean, because I was waffling a bit. Priority in terms of what you think, in terms of position, and I guess if you wanted to have a number of players, what positions would they be?
Well, I'd certainly like to see reinforcements at the back. I do think we need to think about the left back position at some stage, because we need a capable deputy for Destiny. You know, if he's gonna pick up cards like this. But I also think, like you, someone up front, a goal scorer, whether it's a striker or just a player that can play across the front. I mean, I remember in the summer, everyone was getting the hots for Gift Orban. Well, he seems to have disappeared off the face of the earth. He's not scoring, as I understand, or he hasn't been scoring in the same numbers. I don't know. I mean, like Sid, though, I'm sure if Ange does his Zoom call, he'll know and he'll speak to the player before he agrees for him to come in. I trust him. I trust him to do it. I don't know if you saw this lovely interview with Vicario's parents outside the game the other night on social media. And his mum was saying that what a wonderful person Sonny is, you know, and how he's been really, really good for Vicario for settling into the team and what have you. So it kind of reinforces the idea that they spoke, you know, that Ange spoke to Vicario and got a really good impression. And unlike Raya was obviously just desperate to leave Brentford, he said, I'd rather have Vicario. And just on that one decision alone, I trust my manager to not allow people to turn up, you know, who are just looking to earn a crust, you know. They want to come.
Talking of earning a crust, did you see that list that was going on our WhatsApp group with the players that will be what we're paying these players?
Yeah.
Papa Sarr, if correct, is on 10 grand a week. Couple that with the fact that we've got Endon Burgers on 200 grand at least until 2020. Well, no, not at least, up until 2025 at the worst.
And
200k.
And Papa Sarr's 20 times the player, and Dombele is
10 grand. Now, 10 grand in our world, that's money. I'm balling if I've got 10 grand a week. But for a professional footballer in the Prem, playing in a top 6 club, a regular, don't care that he's 21 or 22, whatever he is, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's no wonder that we were so under pressure to get players, to keep players and to attract players if you can offer them sort of wages. But then the reverse effect, we give them the money that they asked for or their agent asks for, and you get a Tanga and Ndombele. You've got to get that right. This is where, and I think you might know a bit more than me, because we definitely know more than me, Sean. Who's the guy that we got in terms of the recruitment? He's from
Villa.
Is it Brighton?
Villa.
No,
Villa.
from Villa.
That's the one.
He's the one who's recruited all these really great players who are now turning it on for Villa.
Yeah.
So, you know, he's got some experience. I mean, it's interesting because if you look into Destiny's new deal, he hasn't really, I mean, he was obviously on some pretty poor wages, because his new wage is hardly earth-shattering either. You look at Destiny's new deal, it's not, I mean, it's maybe 4 times what he was earning before, but it's not a ridiculous wage. I mean, you know, it's not a 200 grand a week or whatever. And yet Sid and I are obviously he's the chairman and I'm the secretary of the Destiny best effing fullback in the world, Udogi fan club, you know. Absolutely. And it's, you know, I suppose it's horses for courses. We are supposed to be good bonus players, although there's obviously the idea that Ben Foster has been promoting that it's difficult to earn a bonus out of Daniel Levy, you know. So
did you hear that one, Sean? That was so funny. Did you hear about that, Sam?
No.
So it was a clean sheet bonus. Apparently, was it Jermaine Defoe or somebody he was talking to, and they were saying like Spurs have a bonus, right? And it's like if you win a game, you get a bonus. But at Tottenham, if you win a game, say for example 2-0, you get a bonus. But if you concede, you don't get the bonus.
That can't be right. So if
I'm
you're an
telling you.
attacker, if you're an attacker and you score
Well,
a hat trick in the
I don't know if it was JD or not, but what they said was they were told go out and win the game. To get your bonus, you have to win. So they won. But then apparently Daniel Levy turned around and said,
taking
no,
the
you have
You
to
have
win
you have to
They'd
win
be
by
right.
2 clear goals.
2 clear goals. Yeah.
That's riots. That's right. Unless that was made clear, that's riots. I'm knocking on his door. Nah, my win bonus is important. When you're on those sort of wages, again, this is like us talking about £10,000 being a low wage. It is a fucking low wage for a Premiership footballer.
It is.
Don't get it twisted. That's a low wage because 200 grand. You might think again, that's a lot of money for Tottenham. It's a lot. They're paying Jadon Sancho 350 grand a week. I think they're paying Marcus Rashford. Is it near 400 grand? He's certainly on about the same sort of money. Marcus Rashford's on 400 grand. Haaland, if reports are right, he's on 600 grand plus. I don't know.
No, I think KDB is the highest paid in the Prem on 400.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, KDB is the
Okay.
highest on 400.
That might be taken into account something else that they were saying
Yeah.
about Haaland. Okay, fair enough. But straight wage, 400 grand's a top then. Well, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
But I do know that there's quite a few Manchester United players, not a few, but there's definitely a couple that are on 350 plus that are not putting up any tree. £10,000. £10,000. If that's what they're paying Papa Sarr, I'm gonna think I'm waiting till the end of the season.
The doggy's new
I'm gonna
wage
say,
is 45 grand a week.
Is it?
45 grand a week. That's his new wage.
That's his new wage.
That's his new wage.
Fucking hell,
taking
mate.
the
So,
piss.
like, guess what? I'm sorry, guys, but in 2 years' time, he's going to be earning 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure in the deal there are incremental increases.
Yeah. Nah, I'm saying
There
in
has
about
to be. Yeah,
2 years' time, he's going to earn about 4 times as much or 5 times as much as at Man City. Because
If
if
they
he
start
stays at that
structuring,
rate,
if they start structuring win bonuses like how they were doing for JD, there'll be riots. That's conning. That's con men tricks. That is.
that's what I'm saying.
That's funny.
City will come in and pay him 400 grand, 350 grand, and he'll go.
Van der Ven, 50 grand a week.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. But see, is that after tax or before tax? It doesn't say, does it? So we don't know.
It's before tax. It's before tax.
I'm
man.
assuming so.
They don't usually put these as net. They usually put them as gross. Do you know what I mean? I would say that's 50 grand. That's before tax.
It's ridiculous,
Do you
isn't
know
it?
what I mean? Anyway, like I said, people don't think we're talking about 50 grand as if it's peanuts here, because it's not peanuts. If I'm earning 50 grand a week, I'm not on this channel. But that's another matter. Actually, I'll tell a lie. I'd be on this channel because I'll be just doing it for the whatever.
No, you'd be in a studio.
That's right. We'd have a studio, but where would it be based?
Exactly.
Yeah, we definitely be bored in it. Oh God, I think we have to do another show about wages and stuff like that, because I know what we're gonna do. Because what we are, 16 games, we are almost to the 19 game mark. Over the Christmas period, we're gonna have to do a halfway season review. How you think we're doing? And in 3 games, it could have looked a lot different. Currently, and I'll just let the viewers know, Liverpool, top of the league, 16 games played, 37 points. Everybody's on 16 games played, so I'm not going to say that again. Arsenal, 36 points. Aston Villa, 3rd, 35 points. Manchester City, 4th, 33 points. And lovely Tottenham Hotspur, 5th, on 30 points. Then we've got a 3-point gap to Man United on 27, and then Newcastle on 26, who are in 7th and 6th, respectively. Brighton in 8th on 26. I think we can probably discount everybody else. West Ham down there in 9th on 24 points. I don't think they're going to be coming up to get into that top 5 battle, and certainly not within the Premiership race. So I think the race is between Liverpool down to, I'm going to say Spurs for the race. Not to say we're going to win it, people, but I think we're in that race because Christmas period is going to be interesting. Yeah, so we'll do that half-time season review sort of thing. Yeah, we'll do that. Final thoughts then. Sean first. Your final thoughts. We've got a game coming up on Friday. Obviously, we're now 5th. We've gone over that 4-game well, it was 5 games, but yeah, we've won our last game. Put it that way. Final thoughts.
Yeah, it's well, the main focus was on Cuti Romero. I love the guy. I like his devilment, but he needs to rein it in. He needs to know when and where, and that's up to Ange. I mean, we could rely on Son, but you don't know the story still going round about when Son on the first day of the season, the night before, he sent a text to Maddison and.
No, I'm just talking about Danny. That's all.
All right,
about you. That's Dino. It's Dino's about Danny Ings. I'm not having that. Sorry.
Not having that.
I'm not having that.
Sorry, you throw me off by Sonny sent a text message to Maddison and Romero saying, "We're going to do the huddle near the fans tomorrow." He said a couple of weeks ago, "I still haven't had a message back from Romero." So read into that what you will. What Son's influence is over Cuti Romero. Someone else needs to say it to him because we can't afford not to have him until, particularly when we're so short at the back. So, yes, keep playing away, Cuti, but know when and where to stick the foot in. You know, he's now become a goal-scoring centre back. So go and do that instead.
If you can score goals and defend well as a centre back, that's golden. You know, John Terry. That's why John Terry was such a. I hate to say it, was a great defender for Chelsea. He was. He scored them goals, but he could defend. He really could defend. That was his first priority. Sid, final thoughts. I'm just going to pick something up.
Listen, Romero's Romero, man. At the end of the day, you know what? I don't want him to change because then we're going to start saying that he needs to toughen up. Yeah. So you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. And like Sean said, love the player, his attitude, his towards the game, his aggression, and the chemistry between all the players and everything. He seems to be, like you said, he seems to be the Mick Richards, doesn't he, of Roy Keane, the bodyguard. Yeah. You know what I mean? So no, just do what you do, mate. But just when you're 3-0 up, don't do it. You know what I mean? Just use a bit of common sense. And I think they'll have a word with him in the dressing room because at some point we need him. You know, as much. That's why people keep telling him he's one of the best centre backs in the world. So you got to keep feeding that into his head, saying you're best, you're the best, you're simply the best. You know what I mean? And it will come together. It will come together. Because I don't want to come back on this show in a couple of weeks, couple of months' time, and we're all saying, he's a Romero, he's a soft little shit. He's not doing nothing. He's not tackling. He's backing away. None of that. I don't want none of that. So, yeah, we carry on. Massive game on Friday again. Momentum's back with us. And we just do what we got to do.
My final thoughts regarding Cuti is that he's just got to make better decisions. Tackling when you have to make a last-ditch tackle that might be costly, that might be risky, I can take that. I can accept that. Making a tackle near the halfway line when there's no danger towards your own goal and you're winning the game 2-3-0, that's not good decision-making. So that's all I want him to now do. Recognise when that needs to be done. I don't want to take that aggression away from him, and I certainly don't want him to pull out of tackles when it's close to the 18-yard box and someone's going to have a great attempt on goal. He has to do it there. He has to make those fit. But halfway line, he don't need to do that. And he doesn't need to get involved in anybody else's business as well, because that's the other thing as well. As well as he's a leader, as I said, he's that person that you want, that mate. We've all got him. We've all had him. You go out with him and you're thinking, oh, bloody hell, please don't start, because you know that he's going to be on there, and then that's what it happens. You've got one of them mates who just throwing punches. Next thing you know, it's violence everywhere. Violence doesn't solve anything, by the way, people. That's what. Just add that. No, that's it. I think we're done. A couple more comments.
Sam, just before you finish off, Sam.
Yes.
The most important thing we've not mentioned, come January, Maddison's injured. Son goes to AFCON. He's going to be our captain. he's going to be our captain. So we need him more than ever. Yeah, with them two going. So that's how important he is to Spurs in January.
Yeah. And he's a part of leadership. I don't know if that means anything more to him. Yeah, it should do. It should mean more because he should do. Lead by example. But maybe his example is the aggressive way. Maybe he is like we said before, because we've got a lot of players who aren't overly aggressive. We've not been the most overly aggressive team in previous years, although going back to the Battle of the Bridge was one of the best games I think I witnessed in my life. But that being said, we're not the most aggressive team. But we haven't conceded from a corner this season, and I think that's fucking great. Don't think we've conceded from too many crosses, either from headed goal. That's also fucking great. I didn't realise that. So whatever they're doing defensively, they're doing something right from that point of view, because we're not conceding a lot of headed goals if you actually look at it, people. And I think I really thought that was an area where we're going to get tested, particularly in the last few weeks. And we haven't been. That's it then. Thursday, Sid, do you want to talk us about anything? Are we doing anything on Thursday?
We are doing the preview show for the game on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah, and his press conference tomorrow.
Yep. So tomorrow evening we can do the preview show, and then obviously game on Friday evening, so the reaction show. So yeah, tomorrow evening. You know what I mean?
Like, subscribe, comment. Make sure you do Paxton TV, PRTvSpurs, whatever other name that we come under. We come under a few names. Look out for us.
Don't forget to share the stream too.
And share the stream. As Shauna said, share that stream amongst your fellows.
What's the point, FC? Ange needs to tell Romero, never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna run around and... Anyway, there you go.
And that makes the 80s, because Rick Astley was in the 80s, people. I think that song did make the 80s. It wasn't a 90s song, definitely was.
It was the 80s.
I think that's it. 1 hour, 3 minutes. We've done well, as we always do. Thank you very much, everybody, for watching us here at Paxton TV. Join us tomorrow. Sid's on there. Sean should be on there. I should be on there. Might be somebody else on there. We might be different. We don't know. You never know what you get with this lot.
Yep.
But we're going to be watching the game Friday, and hopefully we go into this Christmas period of the next 3-4 games. That's it. Quickly then, and sum it up in a couple of words, or very, very few words. The next 4 games, how many points?
9.
No one's to go first. I'll go first then. I'm going to go. I'm looking at these games, right? Forest, 3 points. Everton, 3 points. Brighton away, I think we'll get a point from that. Bournemouth, 3 points. So I'm looking at 10. I'm looking at 10 here. I'm 10 from 12.
You count.
I'm doing 10 from 12.
2 wins and 2 draws is 8 points.
No,
Did you say
wins
we're going to
and a
get a win
draw.
at Bournemouth?
We're playing at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium against Bournemouth. We're playing at home.
So so you're saying so you're taking
We've got
10
2 home
points.
games, 2 away games. The one away game I say we're going to win is the one against Forest this weekend. Brighton, I think, is going to be a tougher ordeal, should I say. But I still think we get a draw out of it. 10 points.
Okay.
Sid?
Okay. I'm going with the World Wide Web. Wonderful.
So he's going WWWD. Is that what you're going?
World Wide Web.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
One. Oh, you're going 4 wins.
So it's
Damn.
one. Of course.
Damn. I'm like, okay. I was thinking, okay. But Sean?
I'm going for 9 points, 3 wins, and possibly a reverse at Brighton.
Oh, so you're thinking that Brighton might be the one. If
Yeah,
any
Brighton
of
might
the
be the one.
games, yeah.
I think Bournemouth's going to be the hardest one out of the 4.
No, I don't. I think Bournemouth away. I think Bournemouth travelling, even though they did what they did at Man U, if you watch that Man U game, Man U had a lot of chances.
Yeah.
Didn't really come across as they had a lot of chances because they were so shit, but they had a lot of chances. Give them chances to us, how we're playing now. I think we take them at home. And I think Bournemouth get done. The two games that I think Everton, it's Sean fucking Dyche. And I don't like sneaky managers. I don't like him. Don't like him personally, although I respect him, but don't like him. And Brighton. I think them 2 games back to back are going to be difficult, in my opinion. Anyway, that's another story. Tomorrow, people, join us. Thank you, Sid. Thank you, Sean. Like, subscribe, comment, and share. Very important to share as well. Sharing is caring.
Because don't forget, you gotta believe in one.
Don't, Sid, man. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it, Sean. Don't do it. Don't encourage. I'm trying to find the action. That's why it's taking me so long. I'm not encouraging. I'm just trying to find where you go.
Let's get out of here.
Well, I can't find it. Where's it gone? Oh, here we go. Who put it down the bottom? I'm going to have to change the order of the bloody videos. Who put it down the bottom? It should be at the top. Anyway, that's it.
Develop,